Oh, and Brent, you got to do a count impression too.
The count?
Yeah. Ah, ah, ah.
One, seven, eight violations.
Hey everyone, welcome to another DirectConnect. This is Nick Weber. I'm joined by Brent Castegnetto and Leonard Chamberlin. How you guys doing?
So good, I can't even stand myself.
I'm adequate. Thank you for asking, Nick.
Adequate. I'll take it. I'm not even sure where to go with that. So we'll jump right into it. We're going to talk about Cybersecurity Awareness Month since we're halfway into it. So we're quite timely on this one. But one of the things I will say is that what I've noticed over the years is the cybersecurity awareness, like many other fads, comes in hard. And now, kind of like Taylor Swift's views on Travis Kelce, they're tailing off a little bit. But what do you guys think of when you hear Cybersecurity Month? Is there something we celebrate? Do you break out some candles? Is there special music? What does Cybersecurity Month look like in the Chamberlin household?
Oh, in the Chamberlain household. Wow. Well, it's not well known at the Chamberlain household, unfortunately. No, we I try to be aware every month. I mean, it's crazy. How many times you have to tell your spouse, your kids, stop clicking on everything you receive. you know, um, your phone, their phone stops working, and you got to come in and fix it, or I don't know. It's frustrating to be in this profession and yet still have to deal with those issues that you advise your clients on a day to day basis, do's and don'ts, and then your own family members won't listen. I'm sure that never happens to you, Brent.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, they are the weakest link, right? And to that end, I think it's our responsibility to help them understand, recognize, and teach them. And that only goes so far. I still get calls on a relatively frequent basis from either family member, my wife, some of my kids, like, hey, I got this email, what should I do with it? I'm like, well, let's do the homework on it. Let's figure out where it's coming from. Does it really look legit, or is it legit? So I tried to help my teenage kids and even my wife and some other family members recognize like patterns. And you're seeing a lot of the threats that are coming in via text message, right? By emails that are well crafted, all those phishing campaigns that people are, that organizations and people are running against others to try and take advantage of them. So really, it's just about, for me in my house, it's about being vigilant, being aware, and then if they have questions, I've just told them, just call me, text me, and I'll help you through it. Really, it's boils down to education, I think, and helping them recognize those patterns and seeing things. And you've definitely seen an uptick since, or I have personally, and with friends and colleagues, an uptick in phishing campaigns, smishing, all those types of things have increased dramatically over the last 2 months.
Yep. Yeah, I think it starts with what, tax season every year, and then just continues on
Yeah, just rolls forward.
through the holidays. Yeah, and the threats that come in. I mean, they're tailored to the season almost. Now it's almost Christmas time. Well, let's not forget we got Halloween to deal with first. I mean, that is the best holiday, but Christmas shopping season is here as well, and so all these shopping related exploits are coming in. One of the ones I get often is text messages about package being delivered, or something PayPal related. And yeah, I agree though. My wife is getting better. She has started asking before she clicks on things, so we are making progress. But actually, last year for Cybersecurity Awareness Month, I did a presentation for a client, and I came up with a meme that I think really kind of illustrated how sophisticated these phishing, smishing attacks are getting. Shout out to Mark Hemingway for being able to put up this amazing graphic right here. Um, of that meme, but it's Morpheus from the Matrix. What if I told you that there was a phishing email so real? How would you know the difference between the real email and the phishing email? I mean, that's essentially where we are in the Matrix with how real they look. And always, if you get something you're not expecting, if it's from, a colleague, use an out of band method to reach out to them and confirm, hey, is this legit? Did you send this to me? Call them, text them. Don't reply to the email. Certainly don't click on the link. There's capability of hovering your mouse over the link to see if it actually goes to the address that you're expecting before you click on it. That's another, check you can make.
I don't know about you all, but one of the things as we were kind of prepping for this was the timing and why October. And at first I thought it was because somebody at DHS said, well, why not? But then you look at it and it really does fit in kind of to some of the points you guys made. You're coming out of that cruel summer, getting into the beginning of the season of school for the kids. I know mine, it's been a lot of shaking off the summer, the craziness there, kind of getting into a little bit of a blank space right now before the holidays, where it's a good time to hit it right before things switch. And I know we're seeing the same thing.
You're tailoring it up right now. Tailor it up.
I wonder how many of those I could work in there before you catch on. NFL ruined it for me. But no, it does fit in there where it fits in that pattern of life where I think a lot of us right now kind of have our guard down around those things because there's just so much else going on. And we're getting ready to head into holiday season where packages are showing up every day. So it is ostensibly makes sense that, you might have missed a package. And I don't know about you all, but ever since we moved into our house 2 years ago, it seems like, I think it's FedEx that can't seem to figure out where I live. Not sure why. It's probably the simplest address I've had as an adult, but so those do get mixed in, and then you see other pieces. One of the things that I've noticed, I'm not sure what you guys have seen, is how much my professional side, my LinkedIn, honestly, even our Archer website gets scraped. The amount of things that I get hit with on very targeted attacks, it's sophisticated. So it makes sense that you will have seasonally sophisticated attacks as well. So I don't know. Are you guys seeing the same thing?
Well, I think yes, with the onset of AI, right, and all the different AI features that are available to people, I think that they're taking advantage of that, right? Everyone's taking advantage of that, including bad actors. You look at yesterday, the Space Force, right? They identified and said, hey, we are no longer using AI within our systems, and it wasn't because a risk from a security perspective internally. It was data aggregation. It's like what can we take with all the data that we have, right? That artificial intelligence may have access to now, and what can they aggregate to better understand, our protective measures, the things that we've put in place to prevent hackers from accessing our systems. So I think that's an intelligent play by the Space Force, and I wish other government bodies would do something similar. And maybe we will see a following of suit here. Because that data aggregation, like you mentioned, that people are getting scraped, websites are getting scraped all the time, and people are learning how to take advantage of that on an individual basis or individual level. That threat is real and right in front of us.
So you're saying I'm not a big deal, it's just getting that much easier to target people?
I think it is. I think it's getting easier because the information is out there. That data aggregation has already been established, and they have a profile on you now. So they have a profile on all of us. Where's my tinfoil hat, Mark?
So I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna drop a question here. Let you guys think on it for a second. Does cybersecurity awareness actually work, and can it?
I would say yes. Just because, it sounds very depressing to think that we have all this awareness and the idea that none of it works. I think with all things, it depends on how engaging the material is and the messaging. If it's a check the box exercise to just say, hey, we did awareness. I don't think those are very effective awareness campaigns. But something that really kind of makes you think, or something that's compelling that really is going to click in, the muscle memory, if you will, when those situations present themselves. Assuming you hit some of those areas, preferably all of them, in your awareness, campaigns and materials, I think that certainly increases the possibility of success.
I agree. I think having access to that information is, there's power in knowledge, right? And involving people and educating them, helping them. The message has to be on point, as Leonard mentioned. Though, you can't run the same thing over and over. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a Chicken Little situation, which you want to avoid. So, refreshing that material, refreshing the content, helping people stay up to speed on current threats and threat vectors inside organizations or inside our own houses, I think is an important concept. I coach a lot of basketball and lacrosse, and I love doing it. And one of my mantras is we practice like we play. So if we're not working on these things, understanding, recognizing the challenges, risks associated with them, how are we going to react in a true, situation that we're dealing with, a true cybersecurity threat? So I think security awareness and then practicing that through more involved or intensive training helps people kind of recognize, hey, there's a risk here and I need to be aware of it. And then they can think back on that moment when they practiced. So, hey, we're playing for real this time. They know how to react appropriately. They better know how to react. Sometimes we still struggle with that, but at least we're aware of it, and we can learn from those challenging issues that we may succumb to.
I mentioned my presentation I gave a year ago. I mean, another aspect of that presentation that I got a lot of kudos from the client on was how well I presented social engineering. And so as I was preparing, a compelling, story to illustrate to someone who might not know, what social engineering is, it occurred to me that the finest cinematic representation of social engineering was clearly Ferris Bueller. Social engineering his day off, calling into the school with his friend Cameron to pretend like, they were trying to get his girlfriend out of class. And
I think I owe you an apology, sir.
Well, I should say you do.
I
Well, I think you should be sorry, for Christ's sake. A family member dies, and you insult me. What the hell is the matter with you, anyway?
Something that, again, I think really, would resonate with an audience, hopefully if they're old enough to have seen Ferris Bueller and not have the movie spoiled. Something that, they'll remember, that sticks with them, when they do get a call that seems a little fishy, oh, maybe this is kind of like that situation.
Now, this reminds me of like how the prank calls that kids our age, not us, because we never would have done that, but how much of a thing that was pre-caller ID. And really, that was just harmless social engineering when you really boil it down. I also feel like you guys both missed an opportunity. I teed one up for you, Leonard, and asking how does cybersecurity awareness work? How do you define work? I think that's the key point there. It's not cybersecurity awareness isn't everything.
Man.
Well, it's football season. Baseball's about over, so that's why.
I was still thinking in terms of Swiftie references. I'm sorry. You have me.
I'm all over the place today, man. but no, it comes back to. I was saving that one, Brent.
Oh, we lose Nick.
But no, I think that the key point is understanding what you're going to get from your awareness, and it's not a one size fits all. It's not the only thing you have to do. It's a part of an overarching education and awareness and training and culture. Some of the things that I've seen, I don't know if you guys have seen it lately, but I see one that's popping out right now, coming out of the UK. It's called ESC. It's cyber escape rooms. To me, it looks like it's a real fun way to drive home a lot of the awareness pieces. Honestly, it's caught my attention in a way that I haven't seen in this space since Nick Santora brought curricula out. A way to reach people who aren't usually concerned about cybersecurity and make it relatable. Any other thoughts on Cybersecurity Awareness Month? Beyond the obvious, there is no cybersecurity without physical security. But
Very true. No, I was going to comment on your escape room scenario. That sounds pretty engaging, terrifying if you have issues with confined spaces. So hopefully we get the appropriate, permission slips from everybody's parents signed before we lock them in a room.
I believe they do it virtually, so it's a virtual cyber escape room.
That would make more sense, yes.
All right. Any other parting thoughts on Cybersecurity Awareness Month before we wrap this one down? Brent, are you getting your cybersecurity lights ready to go? Your big light show?
They are ready. They are prepared. Yeah, they are. It is prepared. The light show is prepared for Cybersecurity Awareness Month. No, I think it boils down to staying vigilant. The things we talked about, being aware, helping others who don't recognize the patterns or behavior, don't understand the risks. I love how Leonard, shares compelling stories from people who can grasp those concepts through stories or movies or things they've seen. I think that's a great way to educate and inform.
Well, thank you, Brent. I appreciate that. I concur. No, I staying vigilant and think before you click. That's best advice I think anyone can give.
I've even told my wife, call before you click. Send me a text, call me, we'll talk about it. I'll help you through it, help you recognize how to hover over, see that it's not truly from FedEx. It says fedex.ru.ca. That's probably not a legit address. So
wise advice. So for everyone listening, thanks for joining. Remember, cybersecurity awareness is not just things that happen in our wildest dreams, and it never goes out of style. So thanks. We'll catch you all later.
Very good.
Stay up to date on all the videos we release here at Archer by clicking on the subscribe button. Click on the bell to be notified right away when we release new videos. If you know of a topic or someone you think we should talk to on DirectConnect, please let us know in the comments below.